How long have you been carrying the identity, the label on yourself of being the big one? In your family, among friends, in your groups, or even just in your own mind. Yeah, I'm just the big one, or I'll always be big. This deeply ingrained label can feel comfortable and familiar, but it's insanely limiting. It can hold you back from fully embracing your changing body and your new self-image, even when you're making amazing progress towards your goals. But you are more than any label, no matter where you are in life or what size you are, and your identity is yours to redefine right now. So this session helps you release that identity, the idea of being the big one. So that must be just who I am. I need to kind of stay there. And when you empower yourself to let go of those old narratives, old labels, you can step easier into a new life, one that reflects whatever goals you're working towards. And, you know, when it comes to your weight or your mental and emotional health, your physical health and fitness, just not needing that label to define what you're doing or where you're going or your worth right here and now. So you can see in the description box articles, research on how and why this works. And for today, decide how much this old identity, this old idea of being the big one holds you back from a 1 to 10 scale. And we'll check back in after to see where that's at. As we're tapping, if any feelings, sensations, memories, emotions come up, just observe them, let them up, give them space to process through, and then just keep tapping. And when you can, then get back to repeating after me. And so that's all you do. You just tap with and repeat after me. Even though I've held on to the identity of being the big one, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though this past label feels familiar and it's part of why I struggle with weight loss, I'm open to releasing this label and embracing a new self-image. Even though I worry about letting go of this old identity, even on days that I know I don't actually like it, I choose to step confidently into my true self, loving and accepting myself every step of the journey. Even though this label, this idea of being the big one, feels too ingrained to ever leave behind. I fully and completely love, honor, and support myself in finding my healthiest body, whatever weight and size that turns out to be. I'm the big one. That's who I am. It feels like that's always been my identity at this point. As long as I seem to remember. Being the big one is how I fit. Being the big one feels comfortable even when I don't like it. Even though I'm here doing this because I know this belief is limiting me. I know I don't like it as much as I try to tell myself some days. I'm afraid to let go of that label, though. Who will I be without it? Will people still recognize me? Will they still like me? Will they still accept me if I'm not the big one? It's just so hard to see myself differently as anything else. Will I still like me if I lose weight? Will I fade into the crowd as just another skinny person? Will I be safe if I'm not the big one? Like, will I really be okay if I lose weight? I know I'm stuck in this old narrative. I know I'm stuck in narratives I don't even realize are holding me back. I feel like I'm betraying my past self. If I'm not the big one, if I don't have that identity, who am I? This identity is heavy, though. Literally. Even the jokes. Yeah, I make them. Others make these jokes, and sometimes they're funny. But more and more, I'm realizing I think they're meant to be funny. Really, they kind of hurt, especially when I'm actively trying to get healthy and lose weight. I'm tired of being defined by my size. But I actually feel resistant to changing this. It's like a literal red light or stop sign of my body. Some kind of brick wall I can't get past when I want to change how I eat or think about food or exercise. It's like some kind of force I can't actually see holding me down or tying me to this idea of being big. That's it. That's just who I am. Get comfortable with it. Make jokes about it. No, I'm releasing all this old identity now. All these past labels and narratives around size and weight. Letting it all go here. It's safe to be different from who I am right now. It's safe to be the same as who I am right now. It's safe to be whatever weight as long as it's what's healthiest and happiest for me. So, what if I'm simply evolving into my next happiest self? What if I can redefine who I am right now? I choose to both radically accept myself and release all past labels. My worth is not defined by my size. My validity is never tied to my past. I'm allowed to change my life and my body however I feel is best. I'm stepping into a new, healthier self-image. I'm embracing my changing body with joy. I'm creating a new narrative for myself. My true essence is constant, regardless of my form. I am confident in my evolving identity. I am shedding old beliefs that no longer serve me. And as I do, I shed anything and anyone who does not support the person I am becoming. I am free to be me fully and completely, no labels attached. I choose to release the identity of being the big one. I drop that all here and now. I release any identity that is somehow tied to my body and its size. I know that I am safe and okay. I know that it is okay to be fit and healthy, whatever that means for me. Any thinking of myself with past labels, I drop here and now. I am stepping confidently into my new true self, mind, body, and spirit. I am defining my own identity right here, right now. I am proud of my transformation and growth. I am worthy of feeling light and free, mentally, emotionally, and physically. I am comfortable in my changing body. I am comfortable and happy celebrating myself from now on. I release the identity of being the big one. I step into my true self, whoever that turns out to be. I embrace a new, healthier self-image free from old labels. I choose to define myself by my essence, not by my size. I fully accept and honor my evolving identity and transformation. I am stepping into my power now. I am confident and completely myself, label free. Take a deep breath. Check in to see where that feeling is now from 1 to 10. Changing how we talk about ourselves, to ourselves, think about ourselves is a profound shift, and it takes real courage to redefine yourself. It really does, because you're shedding more than just weight. You're shedding old stories that no longer serve you. And like a few of the statements noted, first that may mean shedding some friends who may change how they act as you lose weight. And it can be either other people who are also overweight because they're very tied to this label themselves. It's like a community that, I have gained and lost weight, and it becomes this thing that we talk about, being the fat girls or the fat chick, or, and then stopping saying that to ourselves. Other people who aren't ready to do that yet or never want to, and that's fine, but they can feel betrayed or jealous or a whole host of other emotions or beliefs that other people can go through when I choose to lose weight, when you choose to lose weight. Can also be some of your thinner friends who begin to show some of their true colors, also through jealousy, especially, basically seeing you as a threat as you lose weight. And it's very important that if you feel these things from either side, that you bring it to the table with them and talk about it quickly, and not let that settle into you or your new mindset, because whichever side they're coming from, that's their feelings and their responsibility. The only reaction any friend should have to you choosing to find whatever weight is most comfortable for you, to you living your healthiest life, the only acceptable response to that is their support. So whether they join you in the diet or exercise program or not, or including encouragement if you're okay with that or not, commenting on it at all if you struggle with even good comments about body weight. So it's absolutely okay to let others know that. And just to not talk about it while you're still trying to heal your mind or body or ever. Please and thank you. This is a very internal struggle and very hard for me to deal with. And this goes for family, kids, partners, parents, cousins. They don't get special rights to run their mouth if it's not nice or not helpful to you, especially since oftentimes family can have a large at least part to do with us gaining weight through their own food habits, and how they would have fed us and whatnot, or bullying that's disguised as trying to help. And so and then the second thing to keep in mind, especially as we get older, our bodies do change. So even if you haven't had children, your hips may still be wider than when you were 16 or 17. Even if you've never done bodybuilding or physical labor, your shoulders or chest may have broadened in your 20s, so try really hard not to be stuck on a specific number, whether that's a weight, like a body weight, or a specific size that you once were. It's definitely good to make a goal. Or I usually, like when I talk with friends about it, we try to remind ourselves to make 2 goals. An end weight you think you want to get to, and I always suggest that be a little higher than what you used to be or think you want to be. And then a short-term goal where you want to be in 30 or 60 or 90 days, whether it's a weight or maybe what you can lift or how far you can run or walk or whatever it is that you're doing. And then when that gets here, then you set the next smaller goal. And this gives you the chance to refine however you're eating or diet plan or whatever exercises you may be following. And it gives you the chance to celebrate many of your goals along the way and redefine or figure out which of these labels are still stuck in your head and work on, eliminating them. And then as you get closer to that end goal, if the final goal is a bit higher than that all-time low you were at, you may begin to find yourself redefining what shape you're happiest with and most comfortable at now, whatever, age you're at or stage in life. And so redefining what size or weight is most comfortable and easiest to maintain is like, so you don't have to spend every waking moment thinking about what are you going to eat next, or does it fit your macros, and you're able to give yourself permission to redefine what is healthy and happy and easiest for you, that lowest weight that you want to get to, because as you get closest to it, you just say, if that requires doing this much more counting or this or that, I'm just not going to do it. I refuse to. So some of it, like I said, I've gained weight and lost weight, and, I still catch myself sometimes, making a joke or, it's just, the fat chick inside of me, or, that my chubby girl is doing. And I try to kind of backtrack myself sometimes and go, did you just mean that in a kind of maybe cutesy way to yourself, or, because it may be just, joking about my birthday coming up, and, or Christmas or Thanksgiving, and having a little bit of everything at the table. And, those kind of things would be fine if I don't realize that it's a consistent thing that I'm doing lately. And I'm saying something to myself, I'm being mean to myself for some reason. And sometimes, then backing up and saying, maybe that joke is not, let's not say that, or put that inside myself, or, yeah. So, those would be my suggestions. And just be mindful of friends and family. And if you figure out they're not acting right, that's on them, and for them to figure out. Because, like I said, some people figure out that what society would say is fat or overweight, they actually are perfectly healthy when it comes to blood work or any of that kind of stuff. They are active, and they're in numerous sports, and so maybe their body shape is different. Maybe they're just okay having a bit of extra weight. That's not for us to tell somebody else. That's between them and their doctor, and that's it. And so, but if that becomes a huge part of people's identity sometimes, especially if they're being bullied at home or by family, and so that then they surround themselves with people who all kind of really lean into the identity as if that's a primary point basically of their life. It can be really detrimental when somebody who they thought they had that in connection with then loses weight. And I'm not saying I necessarily agree with that either. I definitely don't agree with that. They shouldn't be treating you that way because you lost weight. But I mean, even having been, being inside, there's just a way in my mind for us to say, of course. So their body is their body. It's not for us to comment on or decide that something's wrong with them because they're overweight or too skinny or anything else. But just like we know how detrimental it is to go into the mentality of bulimia and anorexia, because that is its own clique or group of people that get together, and that's what drives them all, is staying super skinny. Instead of it just being something that we understand, I'll never be able to wear that dress or fill out a dress like she does. You can say small comments like that and it doesn't matter. Same thing when I don't have that problem, but even being big, like, I'll never wear that size 0, or I wish I could try to get that on, or that sort of thing is fine. Making those, because it is a way that you do connect. You do all understand, like, we'll never be able to wear that shirt, without that kind of bra, or that would fall off, or that sort of thing. Is different than allowing the identity to keep you unhealthy, basically. So there's a lot that could be more unpacked there and more said there, but it's just a way of saying, that if that's what somebody else chooses to be their identity, that's okay, I suppose, for them. But they shouldn't just make sure you're not taking heat for it, or they're not distracting you from your goals or making you feel guilty about them because you're not staying in that same label or identity, or so I hope this makes sense, because I'm certainly not here to fat shame anybody. Like I said, I'm up and down and up and down. It's just a matter of making sure that outside opinions aren't steering my life and my opinion on how thin I think I need to be, or that I needed to stay overweight because that's what all my friends were, or anything like that. That's let's not do that, or put ourselves around people who do that to you. So you can check out, I'll have playlists both for additional weight loss issues that pretty much anybody could have, overeating or eating to we're too stuffed, or junk food and that kind of stuff. And then I also have a playlist specific to bariatric surgery. So if you've had that, there are some obvious issues that you deal with after bariatric surgery that don't come along in normal weight loss. So you can look at both of those depending on which category you fall into. And as you were tapping, if there are any other beliefs or memories, or like beliefs or emotions or anything like that came up that I can help you with that you don't see elsewhere on my channel, drop a comment and let me know. It may be something kind of like this, an identity of being the big one, or overweight, or, you know, something else that goes through your mind that you think, I think that I'm so stuck on this must be who I am that it's keeping me from, you know, being able to lose weight and get together or stick to a diet and exercise plan, or anything else, career, love, family, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, just let me know. I hope this helped, if this is one of the things that you struggle with. And yeah, it's good to see you here doing all that you can to, you know, redefine yourself and choose what it is that you want for your life, because you totally deserve that. And so yeah, if you could subscribe, you'll get notified of new videos, and I have a lot more in writing for weight loss. And then yeah, if you could like and comment, it does help me grow as a channel, and I'm really grateful for that. And I will see you in the next video. Later.